I'm Joey Malinski, and this time on ATB Meets, I met up with stand-up comedian and podcaster Ryan Sickler as he's back home in Baltimore for a sold-out show at the Horseshoe.
So, born in West Baltimore, St. Agnes Hospital, next to old school Cardinal Gibbons, Babe Ruth's High School, right around the corner from UPS. Shout out to UPS, Baltimore Hub, Primary One, Joe Avenue.
Ryan Sickler is one of my favorite podcasters. He started podcasting way back in the day. He's got one of the best laughs in the industry. We talk about Baltimore, his first pitch at the Orioles game, and a near-death experience while watching George Carlin.
Light just shot up to the ceiling and you just see legs sticking out.
So it was great to hang out with him, and awesome having him back in town, and check this one out. It's going to be a good one.
So how'd the pitch go, though?
Man, they were staunch on I can't go to the rubber. And I was like, nah. And he goes, all right, so you're next. You're going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. You're going to go to the end of the mound at the dirt. I said, I'm going to the rubber. And that kid goes, they do not like you going to the rubber. I said, I know, but I'm going up to the rubber. He goes, I really wouldn't do that. I go, listen, I'm going up there. And when they yell at you, you tell them, I told that son of a bitch he wasn't allowed to go up there, and he full on ignored me. I said, I will then co-sign that. So I walked out to the bump. I gave him one. Was it a strike? No. Was it across the plate? Fuck yeah. I gave him a little high and tight chin music, bro. We're losing 6-0 in the second inning. We come back. We end up winning 22-8. That's the second most runs in franchise history. And I 100% had everything to do with that. You're welcome, Baltimore. Keep your head on a swivel, bro. You gotta look out for traffic and thugs. My city education, we were always at the Civic Center for skipjacks games, wrestling. We went and saw WWF back then. We went there one year to a blast game, and Baltimore stole Christmas. We had all our Christmas shit in the car, and they busted in our station wagon and stole Christmas, bro. Baltimore stole Christmas. I just want to get a fountain drink, please.
It's okay. It's not me.
What?
It's not me. Don't
Why?
worry. It's okay. No worries.
What? I'm not, no.
No, that's okay.
Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. See that? You go from a bad story in Baltimore to a good one. Thank you so much. I left here and carried it with me. I didn't go to LA and behave like what people think LA is or whatever. Like, I always say Baltimore's my soul. California's got my heart. It's just in me. I didn't have a choice. It was Baltimore. You wear it on your fucking sleeve. You're proud of it. This is a chip on your shoulder city, always the underdog, and I always root for the underdog. I love that shit. So that's the other thing, man. I miss the food here. You go to any restaurant around here, I was like, hey, can I get eggs Benedict with some jumbo lump? They're like, of course you can, yeah. So we'd go down, cross the Bay Bridge, head down 50, cut back the Y River. We had a 100-yard trot line, little John boat. My dad, my two brothers, me, we go out, and we used bull lips back then. My dad knew a waterman that crabbed for a living right on, what's the other side, like Stevenson or something like that, right? Yeah.
That's where I'm from, yeah.
Okay, right across the bridge?
Yeah, ATB Productions is my name.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You go out on the water like this right here. Sun's not even up yet. You can't start crabbing until the sun's up, but you can drop your line. You troll by real slow, you pick it up, boom, you put it on, and then you keep her nice and straight and nice and slow, and you stand there, and then you better fucking be ready, because it is dip, bum, dip, bum, dip. You missed that one. And your brother, hey, you suck. I'm going next. You know, you got all that too. It's not just you out there. You got that. You suck, right? And to this day, my brother's 52. The other one's about to be 50. These motherfuckers still talk about that. They say, remember that one you missed? I'm like, it had to be this big. I'm not kidding you, man. I kept the telescopic pole. I'm trying to get it, man. My dad turned his head so his glasses shot off. I was like, oh shit, and I missed the fucking thing. And I'm not kidding you. We pull up, we start just trolling around a little bit, just waiting for the line to drop. And we see a big turtle, and then we pick it up, and the fucking head's gone. I'll never forget. My dad goes, probably that fucking crab you missed. And I was like, it probably was. I mean, you were allowed to get a 2-bushel limit without a license. So we would get that easy. You know, there's nothing like pulling them right out of there and putting them right on the plate. It is a culture here. For me, yeah, eating crabs is also eating feelings and memories and everything.
Crab feast, you know what it's all about.
We used to have a podcast. Well, I shouldn't say we used to. We don't do it anymore, but it's still alive and well. That podcast had over 1 million downloads last year. It's been gone for years. Yes, sir, the crab feast. Bill Burr had the best quote about it. He sat down, he's like, where are the crabs? I'm like, oh, we do the conversation. He goes, oh, the worst part of the crab feast, he called it. And I was like, yeah, I guess. But to me, honestly, in the end, it's the best. That's Pier 6, that's where I saw George Carlin. But there was a light guy that passed out at the end of the show up there. We just heard this boom, and we look up, and legs are sticking out. It was so hot. He was like a light guy, a spotlight guy, and he was up in the top, way up in the top, and then the light just shot up to the ceiling, and you just see legs sticking out, and they're like, oh shit, he passed out. Carlin's about to wrap up, and they call the fire department, they pull up here. It's a scene, you know, and they tell Carlin he can finish, but he has to do it on hyperspeed. So we hear him do the classic bits at the 7:30. He's going, hitting them, and everybody's clapping. Meanwhile, he's doing his bit. There's a dude just like dead. They have to climb up there, and the guy is too big, so they can't, you know, hold him and bring him down. So they put him in one of those metal stretchers. You see him like rescue people from cliffs and shit. And they're lowering him down while George Carlin's up there powering through his greatest hits. Phenomenal. Production story. So when I first get to LA, I'm a runner. I'm working for Fox Family at the time. It was my first runner job. They're throwing a Christmas contest where anyone in the continental United States can win $25,000 or $50,000, a damn good chunk of money. I'm the PA, and I get to go, and I'm like, hell yeah, this could be anywhere. It's Christmas anywhere in the US. And the lady that wins is in 3 Mile Island, Pennsylvania, in the middle of December, where radiation is definitely still humming. So the sketch of this is going to be an oversized elf and his plight to carry this, you know, those big Price is Right size checks. The person they hire to be the oversized elf is Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman, R.I.P., if you don't know, wasn't the nicest dude, wasn't the kindest guy after a while. Whatever reasons might be, he just was kind of a dick. And we're gonna fly in a day ahead, and then he's flying in the day after to shoot that day. We start getting phone calls from the limo driver who's at Gary Coleman's place, and Gary Coleman's not answering the door. So the guy's like, I don't know if he's here. I can hear people inside, I feel like, but I don't know. Knocking on the door, no one's coming. Gary Coleman flakes, fucking no call, no show Gary Coleman. And they say, Ryan, you gotta be the elf. And I'm like, I'm not fucking being that elf. And they're like, you're gonna be the elf. And I'm like, I can't fit in Gary Coleman's clothes. And I go, well, if I'm gonna be the elf, we're changing this script. We see an outhouse, middle of a cornfield. I'm like, shoot me coming out of that with this check. I go, why don't we just act like the van broke down and I'm under it? Because I got the elf shoes, so I'm acting like I'm working on the van. So they're letting me do it. Footage of this exists. Oh yeah. It went on in the air. Sweepstakes, bro. It had to, it's a sweepstakes. Now we're in legal trouble if we don't. We get to the house, while I'm standing on the porch, busload of kids pulls up right here. And I mean, they're going nuts. Mr. Elf, Mr. I'm like, God damn it. Mr. Elf. Oh, waving at me and shit. So I'm in there, I give the lady the check too. I got to pose with them and all that. And they're like, don't worry, we're gonna get you your SAG-AFTRA card for this. And I was like, great, you know what? Hell yeah. And then when I got back, guess what? They paid Gary Coleman anyway, and I didn't get my SAG-AFTRA card. And they didn't give me shit. And then Gary Coleman got fucking paid. And I know he's dead, but fuck Gary Coleman.
When did you decide that was
To be a pussy? That's the mentality here. When did I decide to be a pussy and a bitch?
And how has it helped?
No, I'll be old school for a second. If you're like, man, I got some feelings and some shit's going on here, like, quit being a little bitch. That's what they tell you. That's what it meant here. You know what I mean? Like, you're just being a pussy right now. But I gotta give my dad credit. I've really thought about this. When our family first decided to split, when my mom was cheating on my dad, we went to family therapy. We were kids. My dad was in the Navy, Vietnam, man's a man. But I believe him introducing us to that, just the idea of, hey, there's these people you can go talk to. I think that really sort of planted the seed. And then something happened where my daughter almost got hit by a car, and I've always, everyone's got their anxiety, but I've always been a pretty chill dude. And then after that, I just became unhinged, man. I got scared of heights. I couldn't fly. I was terrified to fly. Any little bump, I was like, oh. And you know, my job is flying. I have to fucking fly. Telling Dr. Drew, he said, have you ever tried EMDR therapy? And I said, oh, I go to therapy. He's like, no, this is not talk therapy, and you would know if you've done it. They teach you this, the alternating beats. So I'm on flights just tap my legs, and people are looking at me like, this guy's got fucking Tourette's or something over here. Let me tell you something, man, it fucking works. I now live on the top of my building. I sleep on my flights. Tomorrow when I fly out here at 6 a.m., I don't care how bad that turbulence is on the way out of BWI, Daddy's sleeping, bro, okay? I got my eye mask already out ready. That's how good EMDR therapy works. And the thing I love about it as well is there is an end. If you go in with an issue, there's an end to it. It feels nice just to talk to somebody, but to actually get results is wild. I had never seen that out of the years of therapy I'd done, you know? So she says, Mr. Sickler, as your occupational therapist, I can tell you happily you've passed your test, you're free to go home. And then I feel it. I feel it coming. I grab my chest and she's like, are you okay? And I said, I'm clotting. She said, what? I go, I'm clotting. And then boom, I fall back on the bed. She runs out, she gets a surgeon. This guy, I couldn't tell you what this dude even looked like. All I was hearing voices. And he said, what's going on? I said, I'm clotting. He said, how do you know? I said, I've clotted before. He said, what's it feel like? An elephant on your chest? I said, it feels like 3 of them on my chest. And I'm just yelling, He goes, are you having a heart attack? And I said, I don't feel it. And as soon as he said that, you know, they tell you about the jaw pain, the arm, I go, oh my God, I feel it right now because it's happening now. And he goes, sir, you might be having a heart attack and clotting. And then I black out. And that's death if I don't wake up. And what I find out when I wake up, it went through my heart and into my lungs. So now my heart is twice its size. My lungs are full. And they tell me the next 48 hours are touch and go. And they make me call friends and family to tell them I might not make it.
You had a call like that? You had to make those calls?
I had to call. First guy I called actually was my financial manager. He's now my great friend. He was there for everything. And because I was hard to talk and stuff, so I had to have him call my daughter's mother and say like, look, shit's not going well over there. Good news, he's got a living will and trust. Bad news, he might actually have to use that shit. I spent almost the whole month of January in there, a lot of it fighting for my life. It was a fucking nightmare, a literal nightmare.
Did you get any moments of clarity in there?
Yeah, I got a lot of clarity in there. You know, you want to come out and live life, but you can't. I was on a walker for a while to a cane. You know, you want to like really you want to stop arguing about bullshit. And you really want to focus on people and things that matter and the things that matter with them, and family becomes super important, and you know, all of it just tastes a little sweeter and you really want to go get it. And I can't tell you how comfortable I am telling people no now. If I don't want to go do shit just to feel like a good person, I'm like, I don't want to go do that. I'd rather hang out with my daughter. I have no problem saying no in the industry to hang out with my kid or my kids. My dad dies at 42. I'm 49. I'm just about to turn. I'm not even gonna make my 50th if I don't make it. And I'm like, fuck that. I've always said I want to be something. My father was unbelievable. My hero, my idol, my everything. But I always wanted to say I want to be something my father never was, and that's an old man.